Hello everybody, and today we'll be checking out the original design RMS Olympic. And here it is. Looks a lot different than the RMS Olympic we know of today. Funnily enough, I actually drew this ship, and yeah. I actually see an Olympic class liner back there, so we can actually get a good comparison between the original and the actual design. Let me just back up real quick beside them. And looks like they're sinking. So it's probably the Titanic. It is probably the Titanic that's sinking. Yep. But yeah, we got a little good side-by-side comparison with the Titanic and the original Olympic to see the changes of the Olympic class. As you can see, there are still a couple similarities, like the forward superstructure and the completely open Olympic promenade. But funnily enough, unlike the actual Olympic class liners, the original Olympic actually has interior, as you can see right here. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, just rescuing all the Titanic passengers. But the difference is, well, there's 3 funnels and there's actually 4 masts. Is the Titanic going to break in half? Doesn't look like it. Unfortunately, after our voyage, the original Olympic is also going to sink. But yeah, you can also tell that this ship actually has a couple similarities to the second Oceanic. I mean, you could see a couple similarities, like the extra long like the extra long well deck, and this box thingy on the stern. So yeah, there are a couple similarities, but also a few differences. And don't worry, we'll also be comparing it to the actual Olympic design that was used from 1911 to 1935. So yeah. But funnily enough, this ship actually has the same amount of capacity as the actual Olympic design in-game. So we'll load up. Back up. And because this design of the Olympic never existed in real life, people can customize it to wherever they want. I mean, they could even rename the ship Titanic and have this as the original design Titanic. Anyways, we'll be doing the classic White Star Line voyage, Southampton to Cherbourg. God dang it! And we're back. But not most similarities on this ship are from the second Oceanic. A few other similarities could be like the Big 4 class with the 4 mast. With the 4 mast. Because apparently the original Olympic was going to have 4 mast. We gotta reload on passengers since disconnected. You know what? We're actually a bit closer to Halifax, so yeah, we might as well actually just load up on passengers and then head to Halifax. And max cargo. There we go. And let's get going to Halifax. But as you can see on the original design Olympic, not a lot of lifeboats on the ship compared to the actual design Olympic, because this is a little smaller. Well, the main superstructure is a little smaller, so you only have 6 lifeboats on the boat deck and 2 extra back here. Well, actually 3 extra back on the stern area, so there would be 9 lifeboats in total on this ship. 6 on the boat deck, 4 on these 2 little box things, and another 2 over here near the stern. And this ship also has a similarity to the SS Atlantic because of the boat davits. They're not the actual arm. They're not the actual Olympic class design boat davits. And we also have the lifeboats near the first funnel. So technically, there's actually 10 lifeboats on board. Probably still not enough, but probably enough still probably not enough for everybody on board, but probably enough for depending how many people are on board the ship. So yeah, as we slowly make our way to Halifax. As the original RMS Olympic sails through the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, while I was drawing the MS Poseidon today, a thought just came to me when I was drawing that ship. When I was drawing the bulbous bow, I was like, the bulbous bow always makes ships look so much uglier. Like, if they just took if I could just take the bulbous bow off a cruise ship, would be beautiful. Looks like a fog's rolling in, so we gotta be careful not to collide into anything. Don't want to go Costa Concordia and collide into a bit of land. Well, collide into a rock, like how that cruise ship did back in 2012. But we don't talk about that in 2026. Yeah, if I was turned a little closer to that island right there, we would have done Costa Concordia. And yes, the Christmas event in Tiny Sailor's World is still here. So you still have a chance to do the event and get the Christmas event ship. But I'm not gonna do the Christmas event because I mostly don't do the events in-game. So I just mostly miss out on the event ships. So, yeah. But let me know if in any Tiny Sailor's World update that has a event, let me know if you want me to do the event. But the event is different than like all the past events. Like, instead of finding the items and then a chest, you actually have to defeat like the evil versions with a battleship. which I tried to do in the Halloween event, and that sort of failed. Hey, there's another ship. Looks like a cargo. Looks like a war cargo ship. You know, like the cargo ship in game that I use for the Red Ocean. What ship is that? Let me see. The Liberty. It could have either been the Liberty or the Victory. One of the two. Getting dark, so let's turn on our lights. But imagine this. Imagine the original Olympic design was used instead of the Olympic design today. Do you think history would have changed, or would this Olympics career be the same as the Olympic design that was actually used career? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, we are slowly approaching Halifax. Speaking of Halifax, there it is. You can just see it right in the distance. And if you're wondering, does this ship have another skin? Yes, it does. It's the late 1917, early 1918 Dazzle paint scheme livery. Just like with the actual Olympic in-game. But yeah, we're just coming into Halifax, near the port. Well, actually looks like we'll be dropping off our passengers near the ship warehouse. Well, we dropped off our passengers. Let's sail the vessel out and sink it. You know, since we're in Halifax explosion, kaboom. Halifax has encountered the Halifax explosion again. Not in 1917, I believe. The actual explosion was, this time, 2026. As you can see, the original Olympic, split between the second and third funnel, is now sinking. Imagine seeing this as a shipwreck. The original Olympic. Oh, turned into the Oceanic too. With only the 2 funnels on board. Okay, the first funnel is the last funnel on board the ship, but it's slowly about to collapse. And there goes the first funnel. Power goes out as the ship has its last couple of moments. Air is escaping through the cargo hold at the bow. And there it goes. Slowly sinking outside of Halifax. Imagine seeing this as a shipwreck outside the ship warehouse near Halifax. That would be interesting. Also cool. The original Olympic sitting right outside of Halifax. And she has sunk. Let's see how the wreck will look. Very nice. It's pretty much the Titanic wreck if the bow and stern were a little closer to each other instead of 600 whatever you want to pronounce it away. Okay, we'll be checking out 2 other ships. And our next ship, funnily enough, is the RMS Olympic, but not the original design Olympic, the actual design Olympic that was used from 1911 to 1935. Oh, looks like a thunderstorm just rolled in. Hopefully that clears up soon as we make our way to good old New York, a classic RMS Olympic destination. This was probably based this RMS Olympic was probably based off of like the 1913 RMS Olympic because we have lots of lifeboats on the boat deck. So this is probably like the 1913 Olympic after Titanic sank. It's not the 1930 because the sheer stripe is near the top of the black hull and the white superstructure. 1930, 1928, the yellow sheer stripe was moved a bit downwards. So yeah, as the RMS Olympic sails away. Now, as you can tell, there are differences compared with the two Olympics. Especially this Olympic, the B and A deck superstructure was extended, still keeping the fully open A deck promenade, half closed, half open B deck promenade, but the superstructure design was changed. Now it goes fully along to that classic Olympic superstructure near the end. Then you got your 4 funnels. There's another ship in the distance. Couldn't tell what it was. And then, instead of having lifeboats on the stern, they removed all the lifeboats on the stern. And they removed the box thingy on the bow to have a shorter well deck. And they went from 4-mast to 2-mast. Yeah, once it's brighter out, you'll see a couple of differences. Rocking and rolling like crazy, but not as bad. But we're not rocking and rolling as bad as say Queen Mary or Queen Elizabeth in this game. I mean, Queen Mary rocks like crazy in thunderstorms. So yeah. But I think both RMS Olympics in this game, the original and this Olympic, both go the same speed, 21 knots. And that thunderstorm has just cleared up. It's 1 in the morning now, so we should get a beautiful sunrise pretty soon. So yeah, you can actually turn the lights off because it's a little brighter. But yeah, you can definitely see a few differences between this Olympic and the original design Olympic. We got 4 funnels instead of 2. 4 funnels instead of 3. 2-mast instead of 4. Surprisingly, this area between Halifax and New York, it's always common for AI subs to spawn here, but recently I just didn't get any AI subs. Either the developer removed it from the game, or I'm just not sailing close enough for AI subs to spawn. Fun fact, over here in this area near all these islands, there's actually an Easter egg where the wreck of the SS American Star is, which you may remember in my SS American Star wreck video. Oh, duh. Very close call. POV Titanic if they missed the iceberg. But yeah, that was a very close call. Could've scraped the hull there. As we slowly make it to New York at 3 in the morning. using a lot of coal and water, because we're only at 79 now. Sorry, 77. I misread 79 as 78. Guys, can you please stop saying 6-7 in 2026? I mean, literally, 2026 was just started. Everybody's did a trend to see who could say 6-7 first in 2026. But guys, just stop with the stupid 2025 brain rot in 2026. Guys, January 1st, 2026 was Great Meme Reset. So, stop talking about all this stupid 2025 brain rot, like Italian brain rot, 6-7. Just, God, bring back old memes, like, do you know the way? And all those good old memes. No more of this stupid 2025 brain rot. Glad no one's talking about Italian brain rot like they did back in middle 2025, because that stuff is dead now and got replaced by 6-7. But hopefully no one's talking about 6-7 or Italian brain rot still in 2026. Because 6-7, hopefully no one talks about 6-7 in 2026. You know what they're probably going to create now in 2026? 8-9. Yeah, no more 6-7. 8-9. It's going to be 8-9. Or the classic 21. Anyways, enough talking about old memes and stupid brain rot. The RMS Olympic has made it to New York. There's another ship in the distance. Looks like an Olympic class liner. Well, we all know Olympic had a few collisions back in her day. Let's have a ship collision. If I had to say, that's probably either the Titanic or the Olympic. Possibly the Britannic. Well, you know what I gotta do. PvP on. Vehicle stats. Vehicle collision on. Oh, looks like somebody's customizing it. And let's say that caused some damage to the ship's bow. So sink by the bow, starboard list, and split. Despite the damage being on the ports, despite the damage probably being on the port side, we're going down by the starboard side. Anyways, the Olympic is sinking again. This time the actual Olympic, not the original design. That guy that I just collided into was probably just like, bruh, what the heck? This looks like something you would see out of Britannic, almost. Not Olympic. But we're actually about to get an accurate Titanic split. Because in real life, that's probably how Titanic split. The ship was diagonal, and then it broke. And then the final plunge was like a little sideways tilted, and then went vertical, and then leveled out. And there goes the last funnel. As the Olympic, probably gonna hit bottom. Because we're in shallow water. But, yeah. There she goes. There goes the docking bridge and the stern. There goes the fantail, and there she is. There she is. On the wreck. What's funny is, we actually sank like on a slope, so the stern is actually slanted sideways instead of the bow. So this is pretty much the Titanic wreck if it was just sideways. Also, if Olympic sank. Anyways, time for our last ship. Whoa, Normandy just sailing by. Nearly just ran into me, but probably not a player sailing it. It's probably like one of those AI ships. Since our last two vessels been White Star, let's do a Cunard line vessel to end it off. And it's a ship I never did and checked out in a long time. The beautiful RMS Queen Mary, docked in Long Beach. And I do not like those orange funnels. So let's give Queen Mary her classic nice red funnels that she has when she's I just gave Queen Mary her classic red funnels that she has right now docked up in Long Beach, but in her sailing service she had the Cunard orange funnels. I have no clue what's going on with the buildings over there. They're just flashing. But anyways, we're not gonna do a voyage like the other two ships. But I mean, if we did do a voyage, we would get to our destination faster because we're going like almost double the speed, 32 knots. We're just going to do a nice sinking to end it off. Since the Queen Mary is pretty much like... Since the Queen Mary was used for the 1972... I believe the 1972 Poseidon movie. We'll sink the Queen Mary in that way. I think the 1972, Poseidon sank by a rogue wave, like the 2006 Poseidon, but I could be wrong. Let me just sail out. Try and find sink by rogue wave. Can't find it. Oh, there it is. So we're doing classic Poseidon, but with the 1972 Poseidon, aka Queen Mary. Jump overboard. And she did not even roll over. She just dropped. She did not roll over. She just instantly dropped, then roll over. But yeah, there's the wreck of Queen Mary. So POV if Queen Mary sank. Well, I mean, Queen Mary technically sank, but it wasn't the actual Queen Mary, it was the 1972 Poseidon that Queen Mary was used for, I believe. Well, I don't think Queen Mary was actually used for the movie. I think it was just like a replica of Queen Mary built for the 1972 Poseidon, but I'm not sure. Please, somebody let me know. But, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.